Look at that man walking into the crowded auditorium. He is wearing an expensive suit, his hair is meticulously groomed, and he wears a polite social smile on his lips. But inside his chest, his heart is pounding against his ribs, threatening to burst out. Every step he takes feels like walking through a minefield. His eyes dart constantly, scanning every face in the room, not to find friends, but to search for signs of judgment. A frown from a stranger makes his stomach knot. A chuckle from the corner of the room convinces him that they are mocking the way he walks. Whether he is a CEO or a successful individual, in that very moment, he has turned himself into a pathetic beggar. He is not begging for money. He is begging for something far cheaper, the approval of people he doesn't even like. This is the greatest tragedy of modern humanity. We are physically free. The chains of slavery were shattered centuries ago. Yet, we voluntarily place a different kind of invisible chain around our necks, one that is heavier and tighter by 1,000 times. That chain is forged from a single thought. What will they think? Do you realize the ridiculous irony of this? You work hard to earn money to buy a car you don't actually need, just to impress neighbors you never speak to. You dare not wear the shirt you love. You dare not pursue your artistic passion. You dare not speak up in a meeting, all because of a vague fear. You are living the life of an actor on a stage, trying to play a role in a script written by society, while your soul is screaming to get off that stage and live its true life. As long as your happiness depends on the nod of others, you are nothing but a puppet. And look at who is holding the strings controlling you. It is the chaotic crowd. It is people who are just as confused, scared, and full of flaws as you are. You are handing over the keys to the house of your soul to random passers-by, letting them walk in with their dirty shoes, rummage through your furniture, and decide whether you should be happy or sad today. Imagine you are walking down the street and a madman runs up and screams at you. Do you feel sad? No. You would shrug and walk away because you know that person is not sane. But when a colleague, a friend, or a stranger on social media leaves a negative comment, you crumble. Why? Because you have implicitly given them the supreme authority of a judge. You believe their comments reflect your value. But here is the brutal truth you need to etch into your mind. Other people's opinions are not the truth about you. They are the truth about them. When someone judges you, they are revealing their own lenses, fears, jealousy, and prejudices. You are merely the screen onto which they project their internal movie. Our biological mechanism is programmed to seek belonging to the herd. Tens of thousands of years ago, being ostracized by the tribe meant death in the wilderness. The fear of the eyes of others is an ancient survival mechanism. But wake up! We are living in the 21st century. Being disliked by someone, being criticized on Facebook, or being whispered about behind your back cannot kill you. It does not make you bleed. It does not take a single piece of flesh from you. The hurt you feel is entirely created by your own mind. You are taking harmless sounds from other people's mouths, pure physical sound waves, and molding them into daggers to stab yourself in the heart. Observe a rock standing tall in the middle of the ocean. The waves roar and crash into it, spraying white foam, carrying the power to crush everything. But what does the rock do? It does not fear. It does not beg. It does not try to explain to the waves, "Please be gentle with me." It simply stands there, silent and immovable. The waves crash and break, retreat and crash again, but the rock remains unchanged for thousands of years. Marcus Aurelius wanted you to become that rock. He said, "Be like the promontory against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it." Praise, criticism, flattery, insults, all are just waves. If you let them sweep you away, you are debris drifting in the river. If you stand firm, you are a lighthouse. The choice lies right in your attitude. But to achieve this state of invulnerability, you must be willing to pay a price. That price is the acceptance that you will be misunderstood. You must accept that in someone else's story, you will play the villain. You cannot want to be yourself and want everyone to love you at the same time. That is a mathematical equation with no solution. The craving to be liked by everyone is a disease, a sweet poison that kills your personality and your uniqueness. When you try to please everyone, you become invisible, a bland mirror that only knows how to mimic the colors of the environment around it. Do you want your tombstone to read, "Here lies a man who never offended anyone and never truly lived"? True liberation begins the very moment you dare to look straight at this naked truth. An insult can never hurt you without your own complicity. Think about this carefully. If a madman on the street points at you and screams that you are a flying purple hippo, do you feel insulted? Do you go home, bury your face in a pillow, cry, and question your self-worth? Certainly not. You would laugh or simply feel pity for his delirium. Why? Because you know deep down in every cell of your body that it is not true. His words slide off you like water off a duck's back. So why is it that when someone calls you a fool, a failure, or selfish, you feel pain as if cut by a knife? The answer is hard to hear but necessary. You feel pain because some part of you believes they are right, or you are afraid that they have seen through the insecurity you are trying to hide. Excessive sensitivity to criticism is a sign of a hollow, inner citadel, where self-esteem is not built with the bricks of self-awareness, but erected with flimsy cardboard sheets of external validation. When you don't know who you are forced to believe what others say about you. You become a dry leaf swept away by the winds of public opinion. If the wind blows east, you fly east. If it blows west, you drift west, completely weightless, completely rootless. This is a fatal confusion between reputation and character. Reputation is what others think of you. It is like your shadow, sometimes long, sometimes short, sometimes distorted depending on the sunlight, and you cannot control it at all. Character, however, is your true self. It is the body that casts that shadow, and that is the only thing entirely in your hands. Spending your whole life grooming the shadow while neglecting the body is a form of collective madness that modern society suffers from. You are trying to polish your image on social media, trying to appear happy, trying to appear successful, while inside, your soul is rotting and exhausted. Your mind is yours. Do not let outsiders influence your thoughts and emotions with meaningless comments. But to reach this state of immutability, you must not only learn to ignore criticism, but you must also learn to ignore praise. This is the most subtle trap the ego sets. We often think that ignoring public opinion means ignoring insults, but joyfully welcoming applause. Wrong. Praise and criticism are two sides of the same counterfeit coin. If you fly to cloud nine when someone calls you talented, you will surely fall into the abyss when they call you incompetent. When you accept praise as a measure of value, you have implicitly signed a contract selling your soul to the praiser. I give you the power to judge me. Today they lift you up. Tomorrow they will drag you down, and you will forever be a puppet dancing to their applause. A truly free man views applause as just a type of noise. Pleasant to the ear, perhaps, but it adds nothing to his core value, just as the barking of a dog does not diminish his dignity. Imagine you are a skilled archer. When you draw your bow and hit the bullseye in a quiet forest with not a soul around, is that shot excellent? Yes. Does the value of that skill exist? Yes. It needs no witnesses, no applause to become real. A flower blooming brilliantly in a deep valley does not need tourists taking photos to prove its beauty. It is beautiful because its essence is beauty. Live your life like that flower. Do the right thing because it is right, not because someone will see and praise it. Work hard out of respect for yourself, not for a pat on the head from your boss. When you find nourishment from within, when your self-esteem is self-sufficient, you become dangerous to those who want to manipulate you. They cannot bribe you with praise, nor can they threaten you with boycotts, because you do not need what they are selling. However, this path is not for the faint of heart, for it demands a cold ruthlessness with your own emotions. You must learn to view people as mad doctors. Imagine walking into a hospital and a drunk doctor stumbles over, telling you that you have cancer when he hasn't even examined you. Do you believe him? Are you scared? No, you would ignore him because you know he is incompetent to make a diagnosis. In life, most people judging you are drunk on their own prejudices, jealousy, and ignorance. They don't know your whole story. They haven't walked in your shoes. They haven't lived through your sleepless nights. So why do you believe their diagnosis of your life? Why do you drink the poison that these quack doctors prescribe? Your silence in the face of judgment is not cowardice. It is the highest disdain of a superior being. When a small dog barks at a lion, the lion does not bark back. It doesn't even turn its head to look. It continues to walk with its majesty because it knows its status, and it knows that barking cannot change the fact that it is the king of the beasts. Be that lion. Do not argue. Do not explain. Do not try to prove yourself right. Trying to explain yourself to people who are determined to misunderstand you is a terrible waste of life energy. Let your success, your peace, and your calm smile be the loudest answer. Let them embrace their resentment. As for you, embrace your freedom. You are suffering from a severe delusional condition that modern psychology calls the spotlight effect. In your conceit-filled brain, you believe you are the main actor standing in the center of a dazzling stage, with every spotlight trained directly on your face, and thousands of eyes in the audience scrutinizing every gesture, every stain on your shirt, and every stutter in your speech. You think that when you walk into a party, everyone stops to evaluate you. When you make a mistake at work, the whole company will talk about it for the next 10 years. But let me douse that swollen ego of yours with a bucket of cold water. No one cares about you that much. The naked and most liberating truth in the world is that everyone is too busy with their own movies, where they are the main characters. In their movie, you are just a faint supporting character, an extra passing across the screen for no more than 3 seconds. Think back to the last time you saw a stranger spill coffee on their shirt or trip on the street. Do you remember their face? Did you go home and think about their clumsiness for the whole week? No, you probably forgot them after just 2 minutes of scrolling through your phone. So why are you paranoid that they will remember your mistakes forever? Social anxiety is actually a form of reverse narcissism. You are so obsessed with yourself that you believe the whole world is also obsessed with you. Step down from that imaginary podium. There is no audience. The theater is empty, and everyone is in the dressing room worrying about their own costumes. When you realize the universe's grand indifference to your existence, you shouldn't feel sad. You should feel an immense relief. You are allowed to be wrong, allowed to be silly, allowed to be yourself, because no one is taking minutes of your life to present to a Supreme Court. And if the dose of the crowd's indifference isn't enough to cure your fear of what others think, then use the most potent medicine, time and death. Close your eyes and fast forward the tape of life by 100 years. Visit the cemetery of the next century. There, under the cold earth, you are resting, and the person you are trying to impress today, the difficult boss, the arrogant girl, or the judgmental friends, are also lying there, just a few meters of soil away from you. Both have become dry skeletons, with no names, no status, no ego. At that moment, who will care what car you drove? Who will remember that you were once rejected? Who will mind the number of likes on your photo? The absolute silence of death will swallow all the noise of fame and humiliation. If even living gods are erased by time, then how ridiculous and petty is your worry about what the neighbor thinks of my new shirt? You are trading the precious peace of the present, the only asset you truly own, to buy the approval of future ghosts, people who will eventually fade into nothingness along with the memory of you. The craving to be admired by others is actually a desperate attempt to cling to immortality, but it is a foolish attempt. You cannot control how long others remember you, but you can control how you live right now. When you live to please others, you are living a second-hand life, a life patched together from the scraps of society's expectations. You grind down the sharp edges of your personality to fit the mold they have cast, until you become a round, smooth, and completely anonymous pebble among billions of other pebbles on the beach. Don't do that. Keep your scars, your edges, your quirks, because that is what makes you, you. It is better to be hated for who you truly are than to be loved for a fake mask, because the price of that mask is too high. It eats away at your soul day by day, hour by hour, until you look in the mirror and no longer recognize who is looking back. Look at the eagles. They fly alone in the highest skies, in silence and pride. They do not bother with the chirping of the sparrows on the ground. The solitude of the eagle is not a punishment. It is the privilege of power. When you detach yourself from the need for herd approval, you begin to grow your own wings. You begin to make decisions based on your internal moral compass, not on external applause. You wear the clothes you like because they are comfortable, not because they are trendy. You choose the work you are passionate about because it brings meaning, not because it brings a title to show off. That is when you shift from existing to living. You become the king in your own kingdom, where the only laws enacted are the laws of conscience and dignity. And in that kingdom, there is no place for foreign judges to sit in judgment. It is time for you to embark on constructing the greatest structure of your life, the inner citadel. Imagine your mind not as a chaotic marketplace where anyone can enter, litter, and scream as they please, but as a mighty fortress built of solid rock, surrounded by a deep moat and a drawbridge raised high. Inside that citadel, only one king reigns supreme, and that is your reason. Praise and blame, prying eyes, malicious rumors, they are merely arrows shooting against those thick stone walls. They may create a sound, they may scratch the surface, but they absolutely cannot breach the walls to touch the throne where your peace resides. No one can harm you if you do not allow them to enter the fortress. You are safe, not because the outside world stops attacking, but because you have stopped opening the gates to invite the enemy in for tea. And here is the most interesting paradox, a secret that attention seekers never understand. When you stop caring about what others think, you suddenly become strangely attractive. Look at the people you admire most: true artists, brilliant leaders, rule breakers. Do they attract you because they are always running after the crowd begging for approval? No, they attract you precisely because they do not need it. They radiate an energy of self-mastery, a magnetic pull that comes from knowing exactly who they are and where they are going. Desperation is a scent, and it is a pungent one that makes others want to stay away. When you desperately seek validation, you are like a person trying to catch a cat by chasing it. The more you chase, the more it runs. But when you sit still and focus on your work, the cat will get curious and come rub against your leg. This not caring is not the cold indifference of a psychopath, nor is it the arrogance of someone who despises humanity. Do not be mistaken. It is an ordering of values. You still care about your loved ones. You still care about contributing to society. You still care about justice and truth. But you withdraw your attention from the trash, the gossip, the frivolous trends, and the fragile egos of others. You are conducting a massive purge, clearing out the clutter that occupies space in the house of your mind to make room for what truly matters. You have a finite source of energy each day. Let's call it your attention budget. Do you want to spend that precious budget worrying if the supermarket cashier thinks you're weird? Or do you want to invest it in building your career, training your body, and loving your family? The greatest power you can possess is the ability to say, "So what?" When a voice in your head whispers, "They are laughing at you," answer it, "So what?" When someone says, "You will never make it," shrug and say, "So what?" These two simple words are the sharpest blade to cut through every string of manipulation. "So what?" is a declaration of freedom, an admission that the world is full of conflicting opinions, and you accept their existence as part of nature, but you refuse to let them shape your actions. You walk through judgments like walking through a fog. The fog may be thick, it may dampen your clothes, but the fog cannot stop your steps, and most importantly, the fog is not a wall. The journey to escape the matrix of overthinking and slavery to others' opinions does not end with a medal or the applause of an audience. It ends in silence. It ends on a morning when you wake up, look in the mirror, and no longer feel the need to edit yourself to fit anyone's eyes. You wear the clothes you like, speak the truths you believe in, do the things that make your heart beat faster, and you do it all with a light-hearted calmness. You are no longer an actor on stage waiting for applause. You have become the director of your life. You realize that the cage that has imprisoned you for so long was never locked. You have always held the key in your hand. The door is open. The sky outside is deep blue and infinitely vast. Step out, breathe the air of freedom, and start living the life you deserve. A life without fear, without regret, and most importantly, without needing permission. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.